What's going on, guys? Wayco here from Revolution, here with my friend Laurent Lecamp.
Hello.
Boss of watches at Montblanc. How are you, sir?
Oh, fine. And you? How do you do?
Excellent, excellent. Hey, I love the forum you did with Nimsdai. It was incredibly inspiring.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And so maybe we can start with this incredible watch that he's going to be wearing when he ascends to Everest with no oxygen, following the legendary Reinhold Messner's route.
That's quite amazing. It's something very surprising. So first, back to the roots. 1978, our first mark maker, Reinhold Messner. He was the first to climb the Everest, 8,848 meters, without the use of supplemental oxygen.
Incredible.
He did it again in 1980. And now Nimsdai, 44 years later, will climb the Everest, and for the first time for him, without the use of supplemental oxygen.
Incredible.
And that's why we have developed a watch with no oxygen inside. It's the first time placed by Montblanc with no oxygen inside. What does it mean? It means the oxygen has been replaced by nitrogen.
Ah.
Zero oxygen because Nimsdai will climb without the use of supplemental oxygen.
Right.
So it's connected. But without oxygen as well, on a technical point of view, it's excellent. Because it means that, first of all, you don't have the fogging, the humidity inside the watch. And the second point is about the oxidation process. It's extremely slow. Mm-hmm. It's extremely slow when you have no oxygen inside.
Right.
But it doesn't mean it's a vacuum inside. Huh? Once again, I insist, the oxygen has been replaced by nitrogen.
Right.
It comes for the first time in a 44 millimeter diameter case, full titanium. And for the first time for the GSVR collection, we have here the chronograph complication. The movement is 100% manufacture.
Wow.
100%. The weight of the piece is 130 grams. And the dial.
That was cool.
Dial is mega cool. The dial, so it's, we have the feeling it's made of a glacier.
Right.
A glacier coming from the Montblanc. So this dial is spectacular. More than 30 steps to produce it. We're using a very old process, the Gratte-Boisé. And all the products you are using for the Gratte-Boisé are organic ones,
wow.
Natural ones.
Amazing. Well, explain the Gratte-Boisé.
Oh, Gratte-Boisé, it's a very old process in the watchmaking industry. And it is as old as the watchmaking industry is, I would say. The Gratte-Boisé, it means that it gives the possibility to enhance the depth we want to give to the dial while polishing the dial without removing material. Because when you polish, you remove material, of course. But in that case, we are not removing the material, but we can give the polishing effect, and it will enhance the depths we want to have for the veins, for the grooves of the glacier dial.
Very cool. And let's take a look at the back of the watch also.
Oh yes,
This is really cool.
The back is really cool. And once again here, sorry, but there's a huge storytelling to be explained. So, thank you. This is the Everest, but more particularly, this is one face of the Everest. Which one? The one climbed by Messner in 1978 and again in 1980.
Incredible.
And the same face that will be climbed by Nimsdai Purja in May 2022. So it looks like a temporary route, I would say, linking Messner and Nimsdai.
I love that. And am I correct that that's using the laser engraving process that you've mastered now?
We are mastering it absolutely. So it's a acceleration process on titanium case back. So it means that what you see, the contour, the depths, the colors, everything is laser generated.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Laurent.
Welcome. Pleasure.
So, Laurent, can we go from sort of one legendary timepiece made for an athlete to a diving watch? And am I correct? Is that your first diving watch?
It is the first one, yes.
That's incredible. Iced Sea.
Iced tea. Oh, that's interesting because I received a lot of requests for the iced tea. Really. So we see that more and more people are appropriating the product. They know it's the iced tea,
right.
But the iced tea, but they say I would like to have the iced tea.
Excellent.
That's interesting. Interesting. So just to explain to you how it works. First of all, you have to see the dial. How it looks under the sunburst.
Stunning.
Under the sunlight, sorry. Under the sunlight.
And what is the decoration that we see there, Laurent?
So let me explain to you how it was first in 1913.
Okay.
1913, we created the first Montblanc emblem, depicting the Montblanc mountain with the 6 glaciers around it. So what did I do? I decided to go to the Montblanc, to the glacier, the sea of ice, la mer de glace, to observe with my own eyes the glacier. I wanted to see the vents, the grooves, the depth, the colors of the glacier and how it reacts with the light. And then I was back in Switzerland and I decided to meet a dial maker, and the dial maker told me, Laurent, what do you want to do? I said, I would like to develop the first glacier dial in the watchmaking industry. And you know what he said? Impossible. Then he said, crazy. And then he said, forget it.
Okay.
That's why I knew that we could do it.
That's funny.
And he said, why do you want to create it? I said, very simple. It is 100% our roots, our history. And, you know, on a 0.4 millimeter thickness, it's quite impossible to create the depth effect you have when you look at a glacier. But we have managed it using the Gmt-Watch process and using additional techniques, once again gathering 30 sequences in total. So now I'm very proud to tell you that we are the only brand in the watchmaking history coming with a glacier dial, which has been inspired by the mer de glace. And the mer de glace, it's Montblanc, both the mountain and the brand, I would say.
Fantastic.
But it's not only about the glacier. There's something else, something interesting. I have another one on my wrist.
Oh, okay.
It's my best friend. So, just for your information, I would like to explain something very interesting because it's quite surprising. People say, okay, Laurent, it's a 41 millimeters timepiece, but we see on the case back, it's 300 meters water resistant.
Right.
It's a diving watch.
Yes.
Yes, it's a diving watch. But why? Very simple. The name of the glacier is Mer de Glace, Sea of Ice. This is probably the only name for a glacier with the sea indication, with the term sea. Mm-hmm. So Mer de Glace, for me, it reminds me of diving. Mm-hmm. So we decided to go to the diving environment, not forgetting that Montblanc is extremely famous for the sport watches. And while doing this, we decided clearly to do it with the highest standards. So it means that this timepiece fulfills the ISO 6425 requirements, so the highest standards for diving watches in this industry. Now I tell you something interesting. It's a sound signature. Some people say it looks like being with the dolphins, but just have a look.
I get what you're saying.
This is robust, precise, and this is a sound signature of the first Montblanc diving watch. Then something else, really interesting as well, this is the bracelet. We have three characteristics, you see?
Yeah, I do.
This
Sounds
is
good.
It will be, it's addictive. Huh?
Yeah.
So here you have the first steel bracelet in the watchmaking industry, gathering a taper, interchangeability, and adjustability. And even for the adjustability, as you know, the average is about 5 millimeters in the industry.
It is.
Here it's 9 millimeters and 25.
Wow.
And
that's actually really impressive.
7 different positions, yes. You know that I love storytelling, so on the case back, we'll find something interesting as well, which is an iceberg. Why an iceberg? An iceberg is a part of a glacier, but floating on the sea. And here at 4 o'clock on the case back, you can even observe a very small 3-dimensional diver with an oxygen tank on the back. And what he's doing is exploring the glacier. Was exploring because the IC belongs to the 1858 collection dedicated to the exploration.
Right. Am I correct, Laurent, that you've got 2 other colors for the iced sea?
Yes, but not by chance. You know, people saying a lot of people say it's iced tea. So when people ask for the iced tea, I always say, which flavor do you prefer? So we should say the green one, the black one, the blue one. So this is the point. We have the green and the black and the blue. Do you know why? Why these colors?
Tell us.
Because we have let Mother Nature be our guide.
Right.
In the nature, the glaciers do exist in blue, in black, and in green. And that's exactly why we have developed the blue, the black, and the green versions for this.
Tell me the price of this watch.
So I'm happy that we are your seat now because it's very extraordinary pricing, I would say. It's in euros, huh? If you allow me.
If you don't, yes.
The price is 2,750 euros with a steel bracelet.
That's incredible. So
And-
steel bracelet that's interchangeable with this adjustment system with 7 positions where you can go up to 9.25 mm in difference. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And then what is the bezel made of?
At the Bezel, so we have a few secrets. I can't reveal all the secrets.
Right.
So, but we have 30 sequences. So, and for this, and we are using the Gmt Watch. I don't want to explain too much because after, it's not a secret anymore.
Understood.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It's an incredible value.
Thank you. Yes.
Should we take a look at the black one as well?
But I have a story. Another story I'd like to explain to you very shortly.
Oh, okay.
Because you did something extremely well here with the Superluminova. But you see, the Superluminova when you look the watch in the dark, correct? So the Supernova should be blue inside, only blue. But only the first 1786 pieces will come with a green Superluminova for the hands.
That's cool.
Blue for indexes.
Right.
When you look the watch in the dark. Dark, green, blue. The 3 colors of the glaciers. Once again, storytelling.
Very cool.
And the thing is, nobody knows which pieces with the green hands, green Superluminova hands, will be sent to Singapore, to the US, to France. Nobody
So
knows
it's like
about
an Easter
it.
egg hunt. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's very
But
cool.
I can tell you that each boutique will receive a few of them,
Right.
but only for the 1786 first pieces. Why 1786? This is the year the Montblanc has been conquered for the first time by Jacques Balmat. Once
Very
again,
cool.
360 degrees storytelling.
Very good, Laurent. That's the black one, guys. I love this watch. It's such a great value.
Now you have the IC with a black glacier dial.
So tell us about the IC in black.
It's a beautiful one. It's it's a question of taste. Some people say so. There are big fans of the black one, others of the blue one, others of the green one. So that's interesting because it looks exactly like a glacier is. And as explained, the glaciers do exist in black, in blue, in green in their nature.
You know that you've got a light on it. I just also want to highlight the level of finishing that's going on there because you've got really cool horizontal brushing on the case band, but then you've got this great bevel that's high polished. And look at the middle links of the bracelet as well. Contrast between polish and brush as well. So I mean, it's a killer watch, and for the price that you're offering it, how are you making money, Laura?
It is. Yeah, that's a question I'm asking as well.
Buy it fast before they change the price.
Yes, and I think, and we didn't mention that the ceramic bezel is in.
That's what I want to know. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
a 2-tone one. Huh?
That's what I was looking at. So look, check this out. Like if you look at the blue watch, right? Here, you look at the bezel. It's a ceramic bezel in blue, but the last between like 0 and 10, it's a darker blue, right? So it's 2-tone ceramic. I mean, that's so you got a 2-tone ceramic bezel. You've got this incredible dial. You've got a great finish in terms of the bracelet, but also the case as well. You've got this like removable, rapidly removable bracelet, and it's like incredibly adjustable with 7 positions at 9.25 for a total distance that you can adjust it. And the price is crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Are you sure this is the price you want to launch it at? It's not too late. Is it too late?
This is
It's too late.
this is what we are made of. Montblanc, it's based on a differentiation, on the storytelling, and a very high perceived value.
That's a killer watch, man, for that price. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let's go from there to a GMT watch that you've created as well.
GMT, very beautiful one.
And now that the world can travel again, that should be quite pragmatic.
So
You got to come to Singapore, man.
So I plan to come to Singapore.
Cool.
Yeah, it all depends on the situation, but
Yes.
we're
Open now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So you will see me in a
Please.
few weeks' time for sure.
That'd be awesome.
GMT, very interesting. So we pay attention to which GMTs are existing now in the market. We see that most of them, they do use a hand to indicate the second time zone. So the idea, it was clearly to develop a GMT with a new way of indicating the second time zone. Because we didn't want to have a crowded dial. We want something very easy to be read, very easy to be observed, and with no additional hands for the second time zone. So that's why we developed on the outer dial a color moving and indicating the second time zone.
Oh,
And
that's
the time
cool.
zone can be read here on the bezel, the 24 hours bezel.
That's really cool. Is it operated to the crown?
It's completely, yes, it's completely new in the watchmaking industry.
I love that. Can I?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Voilà.
Okay, here, I'm gonna show this to you guys. So instead of using a GMT hand, which has a tendency to, impose itself over the information on the dial, what Laurent has done is he's created this indicator that's just at the perimeter in red, and that's read off of the fixed 24-hour bezel to give you a second time zone indication. It's fantastic. Let me check that out. Can you see it? Mon, you good? Mon's our videographer. He's nodding his head. You like it? He's nodding his head.
I love it.
It's cool, right? That's really smart. I love that.
Thank you.
And also in ceramic?
No, very interesting point, because you have the blue one and the black one, and I wanted something that suits perfectly, 100%, and you are limited for the colors with the ceramic. Right. So in that case, we decided with a team together to develop something with anodized aluminum.
Okay, cool.
So it was the idea.
Very nice.
And this idea with the second time zone indicated by a color on the external dial came to me long time ago, because I was traveling, I was looking for GMT, and everything was so crowded, it was not easy for me to read it.
It's really
clever.
clever.
By Montblanc, we have decided to launch it, and it belongs to the 1858 collection, some of the iced tea. That's why you find the same steel bracelet, and the rubber ones as well. Steel bracelet with a taper, with the interchangeability, and with the adjustability.
And then with the rapid adjuster as well. That's great.
Yep.
Laurent, I guess now I'm getting excited to be surprised. What is the price of such a watch?
First of all, I would like to explain the case back.
Okay.
I love the case backs. I'm a big fan of the case back. Something is happening here. May I?
Of course.
Okay. So once again, let's do something great. Wow, I love doing this. And now, please just have a look here at the case back. You have, we still have our technique for the oceans and for the continents, and then you have a world timer around it. GMT, a world timer, with London, okay? And then the +1 is not Paris, is not Hamburg, it is Villeray.
Ah, that's great.
I replaced Paris by Villeray.
All right, well done.
Because I think when you turn the watch over, I want you to be aware of what Villeray is.
Yes.
Clearly. And the GMT timepiece with such a great, I would say, case back, it's a real plus and does not exist in the watchmaking industry.
Yes.
If you take the competition, so any other brand, they never developed such a thing as on the case back. So once again, I think the expression of a timepiece should not be only on the dial side.
Yes.
It should be much more developed on the case back as well.
Absolutely. Very cool.
And now regarding the price, it was your question. So the price is 3,250 euros with a rubber bracelet and 2,450 with a steel bracelet.
Laurent, you're like basically just giving watches to people for free. I don't know. This is like the thing. This is your thing, right? Amazing.
I try to give the best value. This is the point.
Nah, it's very impressive. Yeah. Okay, let's go from there to some beautiful Minerva-equipped watches. I'm a big fan of the Minerva chronograph. Let's take a look at this incredible execution. Tell us about this.
So, explain to you how it is. I would stand up just to explain.
Okay, it's running.
So, first point is the following. Back to the 20s. Minerva developed one of the first, it's not the first because we have the patent for this, but one of the first fluted bezel in the watchmaking industry with an arrow inside.
Yes.
Now you have to think about it. At the time, in 2030s, you had a lot of pilots. The pilots, when they were flying, it was so cold, they have huge gloves, and they cannot use any function on the watch because they cannot remove the gloves.
Right.
So the idea, this is what Minerva has developed. Here you have the bezel, and when you move the bezel on the left, on the right, the radio is moving at the same time.
Oh, that's cool.
I'll give you an example. Let's say now you are flying, and it's 45 minutes, as you see here. And you say I'm flying for 30 minutes. When the minute hand is reaching the red arrow, it means the mission is over.
Okay.
Or you have the possibility, for example, to put the red arrow here, where you have the minute hands or the arrow hands, and now you know exactly when you started doing something, when you started flying, or for the fuel, for example, and so on. It was an amazing invention in 1927, and extremely well developed then, also in the 30s. So we are back to the roots, and we are bringing back the Minerva experience into a new collection, a limited one, 88 pieces, in steel and white gold. Just to explain to you, the way you have to read on the other side is not the normal way, but it's the way as it was done in the 20s and 30s, meaning that you have to do this way to read correctly the text on the other side and see the movements.
And what a movement it is.
And what a movement it is, yeah.
Fabulous. And the price of this watch?
The price of this watch is 32,000 euros. It comes with a steel case and 18 karat white gold bezel.
It's a stunning movement. I love that.
And of course, it's a mono pusher chronograph, signature of Minerva.
Fabulous.
And then I would like to share with you another story, but you should interview my daughter.
Your daughter?
Yeah, my daughter. You should interview her because she gave me the idea.
Okay.
But she's
How old is your
she
daughter?
was 3 years old when she had this idea. I explain to you. I was back home late evening and she was waiting for me. And she told me, Dad, you are working too much, which is true, by the way. So
Yeah.
my team as well. But we are all passionate, so with the team together. And my daughter took my watch, observed the dial, it was nice. And then she turned over and she discovered the movement. She said, Dad, she said, Papa, c'est joli. Dad, it's beautiful. And I just paid attention to what she said. Say, she's right. And what if, for the first time since 1858, we were able to say, okay, let's reverse the movement.
That's cool.
And let's share with the world the treasures of Minerva,
Right.
Villeray, but on dial side,
Right.
not on the case back. And that's the first time since 1858 that we have decided to reverse the movement, revealing everything to the world. But while doing this, the 250 components of this 1629 movement, is the name of the movement, were not enough because all the ends were then turning left and not right anymore
Yes.
because you are reversing the movement.
Correct.
So we had to find a solution and the team managed to do it. We added 21 additional components so that the hands are turning in the right direction. And then, in my team, someone told me, Laurent, I think we have a patent here. I say, what do you mean? This is the first time that there is a reverse movement chronograph in the world showing the bridges on the dial side.
Amazing.
And now it's being patented. We started something with a great idea, and at the end, we have the possibility even to patent it.
Right.
What you see here, this is the bezel. This bezel is in here in lime gold. We have a white gold as well. This bezel, I told you, is a signature. All Minerva timepieces now coming to the market are coming with this signature. And you will immediately recognize the Minerva timepieces, the Villeray timepieces, once on your wrist.
Right.
The one you have here, the movement is the 1629 reversed, so now it's a 1626.
I like that, dude.
This idea is coming from one of our watchmakers,
Right.
and I congratulate him, I think, every week because I find it's a very good idea, simple but excellent.
Brilliant.
And something else is on the case back. The case back here, we can remove this, sorry. The case back is how the manufacturer looked in the 20s, 30s when we developed the bezel.
That's very
So
cool.
it's once again storytelling. The manufacturer looked exactly that way in the 20s, 30s when we developed the fluted bezel.
Really
so
cool.
once again it's history. And you can see the Robert Frère Villeray, the logo at the top. You can find the Minerva row, you find manufactured with the three parts of the building, the nature around, La Vallée de Saint-Imier and so on. That's unique. And by the way, you chose that one. I think it's not by chance because I know you and you love extraordinary things because that one is in lime gold. The lime gold is a gold that has been patented by Montblanc. It's a mix of gold, iron and silver.
Right.
It only belongs to Montblanc. That one is limited to 18 pieces only, 50,000 euros. And we have the one in steel and white gold bezel. It's a limited edition. 58 pieces only. Why? 18 for lime gold, 58 steel and gold, 1858 back to the roots.
I like that, dude.
And you have 58 limited editions. So the case, once again, is in steel. The beautiful fluted bezel is in 18 karat white gold.
Right. Lovely watch. Really lovely. Laurent, I have to thank you very much for spending this time with us. I really appreciate it.
I have to thank you for taking time with us.
No,
Many
no.
thanks. No, really.
And congratulations on this wonderful new ambassador of Nimsday. I'm really impressed. It was a great forum that you did with him. Thank you, sir.
Don't forget something.
Tell me.
Nimsa is always said, make impossible possible. This is what we do at Montblanc.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.